Welcome to Bariatric Business Accelerator, the podcast created for busy weight loss practitioners and their teams who want to systematize, simplify, and accelerate the growth of their new or existing weight loss practice. I'm your host, Karol Clark, and I am all about helping weight loss practitioners grow at a much faster rate no matter what setting you are in. It's my passion. As you may know, I'm married to a bariatric surgeon. We learn lots of lessons the hard way, but have always been able to overcome. And you might be wondering why me, as a nurse, as a clinician who's my graduate degree is in administration, and you might be thinking, now what is she going to tell me marketing advice? But I have learned so much of this over the year from paid trainings. I've spent so much time and effort on it, as well as just hard knocks experience. But I'm going to share with you some solid marketing advice for your weight loss practice, things that I see work every day. But what I wanted to also note is that oftentimes we may search out marketing experiences, marketing education, because as physicians or clinicians, we've been taken to the cleaners, perhaps by someone who promised a huge number of new patients for a really high price, and we bought into it. And then at the end of the day, we didn't have any patients come from that campaign at all. And it's so frustrating. We had lots of impressions and lots of excitement, but at the end of the day, our patient load didn't increase. And I learned this really early on that is obviously very frustrating, something that we oftentimes, whether you're a large program or whether you're an independent practitioner, you just can't afford. So we don't want to waste money. So for me, it drove me to research everything about marketing, and also I'll give you a few tips just on things that help make this easier along the way. So early on, I really dove into marketing, and I had really paid a lot to get some marketing experience, some education, to learn lots of different ways to market and figure out what works and what doesn't. I figured it's my time, it's my money, and I'm helping my husband in our practice, and so why not? It helped us to grow so that we could actually have a big 10,000 square foot facility, do weight loss surgery, medical weight loss, retail, education, fitness center, everything under one roof. We did all these different things, but it's all because of having some marketing initiatives that we tried. And I'm going to share those tips with you now. The first thing I learned a long time ago was this concept of, originally it was from, his name's Mike Koenigs. I used to go to a lot of trainings out in San Diego with him, and then I've done lots of other ones. Some people call it omnipresence. Some people he called it you everywhere now. It was a way for you to get your message out there in a big way, but a low cost way for the most part. And making sure that no matter where people looked, somehow you kept showing up. And I learned to do this in a variety of ways. One was publishing. So having books and publishing and getting a lot of buzz in the community, and also through Amazon, which has served me well for over a decade for both my husband and for myself. But publishing was one way, and I'm not necessarily recommending that only. But the other thing was to make sure that you have a presence on a variety of platforms where people, your patients, are commonly searching for, and having the right messaging, addressing their pain points. And so for us, that was basically on social media. So Meta is called now, but Facebook, Instagram, developing a YouTube channel. We even had our own TV channel for a while with live shows. It was a lot of fun. That one was a lot more of an investment for less of a return, so I'm not going to necessarily recommend it. But we turned that into a podcast, regular webinars, a lot of ways that we out there in a big way. So by the time patients came to the practice, they were like, I feel like I know all of you. I feel like I've seen and listened to Dr. Clark so many times that I really know you. Now, the market is much more saturated. Social media is much more saturated. Podcasts are much more saturated. But the bottom line is we now have hundreds and hundreds of assets out there that still deliver returns today, even though we're adding to it as we go along. I do the same thing, for example, what I'm doing right now. This is a way to share really sound advice for people, and also drive business for Weight Loss Practice Builder, to be transparent. But it's because I have a passion for that, just like you have a passion for helping people lose weight. We want to get our message out there and how excited we are and how passionate we are and the results that we help people attain. So that's another way. So you everywhere now, you being omnipresent, you being out there through, and you don't have to have your own podcast. You don't have to do any of that. Just having you out there in a variety of ways, whether it's video, whether it's just, graphics, whether it's testimonials for you, but having it out there as many places as you can. I am a big proponent of taking and creating assets, whether it's a written asset, a video asset, a graphical asset, a free download for people to have, and putting it out there, leveraging it so that I take one thing and I make it as usable as possible and have as great of a return on investment of my time and my talents in creating those sorts of things. So we want to have it on more than one platform. The other reason why you want to have that is because one platform might go away or you might be canceled from a platform. You just never know. I mean, when I'm recording this right now, TikTok's not available. That's not a big platform for me right now, but for so many people out there, it is. Many people have built their entire business on that. So we don't want to be caught in that area. So making sure some of those assets you own in terms of your email marketing list, making sure you have a YouTube channel, your own website, your blog, and making sure that whatever you are creating is out there in a big way. So that's probably the big one is, and it's not that expensive. Yes, it takes time, but you can train your team. I used to go out and learn all this, but I honestly have the most fabulous team. Many practices I work with have met Dawn, who's she has much more of I have like ideas and I have the content and intellect, that sort of thing, the strategies, but she makes it all look so much better than I ever could. And she's also very efficient. She gets it out there in a great way. The team at the office is really great too at being involved in some of these methods. Or you can hire a VA, a virtual assistant, or somebody else to do it for you. So anyhow, that's probably my biggest thing. My other one is to involve your team. So making sure that you're out there and an omnipresent, you everywhere now, no matter what you want to call that, you being out there and leveraging your assets in a variety of ways wherever your patients are hanging out. Making sure that you do include your team. Oftentimes they have talents that you might not have tapped into. So you provide them with a chance for some advancement or additional roles and responsibilities, some additional income, some ways for them to be a part of all of this. Make sure you include them. And then you want to make sure that you stay on top of technology. This is a big one and it can be so overwhelming. I get to work with so many different practitioners who actually, they're also searching for technology and they share it with me and then I get to share it with you. Some of it I'm finding on my own, but there's so many different AI tools that are out there. I have some practitioners who have clones of themselves that make it easy for me to create marketing assets for them. I have others that are investing in different video strategies and I get to be a part of that. Others that are using different AI tools. Some of them are great, some of them aren't so great, but anyhow, maximizing the use of technology, which is just continuing to explode. Right now, I'm exploring, Dawn and I are exploring some different ways to take videos that are longer form like this and turning them into shorts that are very easy versus her. She does all my video editing for me. But there's so many different things. So keeping up with technology is another one and being open to technology, still maintaining your particular voice. If I just went into AI and told them to create this script for me or something like that for this podcast, it wouldn't reflect me probably exactly. You can train AI to a certain degree, but it wouldn't have all the same examples and experiences that I have, even though I may train it very closely. So using technology and just always being authentic and educating, staying on top of the trends and making sure that you're the voice that people are going to when they want interpretation of those trends or what's really good and what's not, making sure that you're at the forefront, no matter what role you play in terms of whether you're a weight loss surgeon, obesity medicine specialist, lifestyle medicine practitioner, no matter what, make sure that your voice is getting out there. And you can do that very efficiently. I talk about that all the time in many of my trainings. So anyhow, I'm going to pull this together and end it now, but I wanted you to get this solid marketing advice from somebody who has been there, done that, and is doing it today. And always exploring what's working, what's not working, making sure I'm working with webmasters, a variety of them who are also sharing some of those things, but making sure that you are out there in a big way. You're not just on one platform, that you do own your own list and that you are attracting your patients, that you are integrating your team as you can, making the most of current technology and making sure that you have your authentic voice out there. And if I had to add one other thing, it's like streamline your processes. That is probably one of the things that will save you time and headaches. If you can streamline your processes for how you do all of this, lots of tips on that as well. I've got lots of different podcasts and blogs on that, but making sure that you're making the most of your time is very important. So you want to make sure that you streamline that, even down to your technology for how you're getting your leads off your website. I know for us, text is a huge thing with our patients. Like, like I say, I'm not just helping other practices, I'm in the trenches too. But having that ease of someone texting from our website right into our CRM, which also happens to be our EMR, which also provides education to our patients, and all of our communication, which is HIPAA compliant, is really important. So we want to make that a seamless process for us, for our team, making it as easy as possible, and also for our patients so they have a great experience, and then they go and tell everyone else to come find you. So I know we all have trials and tribulations along the way. I have plenty of my own. I can relate so well. But these are some solid tips for what's working now, what's worked over the years, some of those things that always to keep in mind and always to make sure that you're paying attention to. So I hope you found this helpful. Please share it with a colleague if you would like. If you are a part of OMA, ASMBS, Lifestyle Medicine, and if you're ever looking for somebody to come do a presentation on growing your business, establishing your business, anything like that, please reach out to me. I do those sorts of talks all the time. I do a lot of that for Robar, the nutritional company for Medtronic. I do consulting for them, and then also for Pronex in terms of a software technology. So anyhow, if you need somebody at your local chapter meeting or something like that, always reach out. And in the meantime, if you just want to have a chat about your practice and strategy, reach out to me, Karol, Karol, at weightlosspracticebuilder.com. Please subscribe. And I also have tons of free resources at weightlosspracticebuilder.com/free. I can't wait till our next conversation, and take care in the meantime.